When he wants his twin brother's lover, Taekook one shot. Jungkook, a cheerleader in his college, loves his boyfriend Taehyung more than his life. He met Tae during the junior year in university. They share the same major and get along with each other very happily. They are boyfriends. But now Jungkook thinks he is a cheater. He cannot decide whom to choose. Tomorrow is the day he has to choose one person as his life partner. Is it be Taehyung or will it be V? Yes, he do not know Taehyung had a brother and twin on that. Both the twins are waiting for him to make a decision for whom he will be taking his boyfriend and reject the other. He is so confused. So this all started when he was in college cafe with his bestie Jin. They were enjoying their favorite cupcakes. Hey Cookie, isn't that your boyfriend? Looks like he got hold of the new cutie, Jimin. Jin said while eyeing Tae, whose hands are holding Jimin's hands while laughing together. Jungkook looked up surprised, hearing Taehyung's name, but the view in front of him is not his liking. Tae was in his own world, but his eyes fell on Cook. Then he waved. Hi babe, do you want something? Tae sat sitting beside Cook, but not before pulling a chair for Jimin to sit, and Jimin shyly smiled at him. This pains Cook's eyes. Then Tae asked Jimin the same question. I would love to eat whatever you bring, Taehyung. Jimin flirted in front of him. Tae smiled and went to the counter while Cook stood up from his seat, took his bag, and ran away from there. Jin followed him and said, It's okay, maybe they are just friends, Jungkook. They saw Jungkook running suddenly. He got confused but shrugged off because he is hungry and enjoyed his lunch with Jimin. Jin consoled Jungkook and went to attend his classes. Jungkook, feeling very hurt, just walked to the terrace where he loves to spend time alone. He is now in library where Taehyung and he met regularly for their study plus lovey-dovey session. He waited, but Taehyung did not come today. He can forget me. Am I no important for him? He asked himself and then left to his home. At 9, Jin attacked his house and convinced him he is stupid to lost a gem like you. And when he come back running like a dog to you, then kick Cookie. Who laughed hearing Jin's dad joke and got ready to enjoy with his best friend. Taehyung today his family called him for dinner to bluff about his brother's achievement. So his mood is ruined and he forget about Jungkook completely. Jungkook and Jin are full in partying, drinking, dancing while shaking that booty. Suddenly Jungkook hallucinated because he saw his boyfriend in the club. He cannot believe his eyes because look at that, so hot. He taps Jin's shoulder, who is flirting with the counter boy, signing. He is going to Taehyung. Jin nodded his head and then Jungkook, stumbling here and there, reached near where his boyfriend Taehyung is sitting. He lost his balance and gonna fall, but his savior is here. V pulled Jungkook towards his chest, saving him. Jungkook beats his chest with his little hand and saying, You are bad, leaving Cuckoo there, and you did not tell you are here. V chuckles, seeing this little boy beating him and cursing at him because of his intoxication of alcohol. His hands slides down to Jungkook's waist to hold him tightly. Ko pushes himself away and walked to the other direction, angry at him. But when we did not follow, Ko got hyper and pulled his collar and moved outside with him. Hey, 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 I am talking to you, little boy. You are misunderstanding something. And you gotta leave me, okay? We said without moving his hand an inch to loosen Jungkook's hold on his shirt. Well, it ripped Tae's shirt basically. Outside, Jungkook pushed V in the wall, now trying to tower on him. He glared. Now you forget me or trying to flirt with more people, pretending to be single. Why did not you be with Jimin Beach? Koo gasped. Well, I like this boy. This boy is going out of hands. He looks so drunk and sexy, we thought in his mind. Tete, do you hate Koo? Cookie asked. So he is Taehyung's boyfriend. What a funny coincidence. We smirked, thinking. He pulled Koo and now he is leaning to Koo, whose back is touching the wall. Jungkook fluttered his eyelashes, trying to be lure V, but seeing no action, he puts his hand behind V's neck and attached his lips with him. V, who thought to call Taehyung and tell him about his boyfriend, stopped completely, feeling such soft petals kissing him. He is in heaven. He closed his eyes and kissed back Jungkook slowly. After some time, Jungkook laughs and said, "Love you," and fall asleep on V's shoulder. Great, now I have the responsibility of a wild boy now. Jin came and took Cook from V while glaring at him and said, I will leave him home, but don't think Koo's gonna forgive you. We watched the daring boy got into a car and turned towards the parking to take his bike and go home. I love that kiss, he thought while touching his lips. Poor Tete, he laughed evilly. Ah, my head, Jungkook shouts in the morning because he drank too much at night. Now he is regretting it. Taehyung, he remembered about his encounter with Tae yesterday. After getting ready, he made his way to his car and drove to Jin's house, picking Jin up, whose face was just like his. Looks like they both are regretting it, but it was fun. He entered his class, but he found Tae there, but they don't have the first lecture together. So what he is doing here, Jungkook thought. He took a seat near him and looked at Taehyung. He pulled Taehyung's neck chain and said, What's with you? This leather jacket? This chain? Jungkook asked. We stared at Jungkook. Looks like this wild boy is in his class and he is still imagining the great V as Taehyung. Excuse me boy, if you stop touching me without my permission please, and FYI I am V, not Taehyung. Jungkook laughed and said, Stop fooling me. Are you here so that I forgive you for yesterday? Mistake, right? V just pulled his leather jacket back and showed Jungkook his tattoos. The whole class got shocked seeing his hotness. Jungkook stood up in shock and was gonna reply something, but the professor entered inside the class at the same time. He silently sat back, still in shock. He do not know how they had a brother. They never mentioned, and now he made himself a fool in front of Kim V. The whole class got shocked seeing his hotness. Jungkook stood up in shock and was gonna reply something. But before that, the professor entered inside the class for lecture. He silently sat back, still in shock. He do not know they had a brother. They never mentioned, and now Jungkook made himself a fool in front of Taehyung's brother. After the class, he ran straight to Taehyung's class to check on him, and there was he, as usual, sitting. Seeing Jungkook came, he hugged him. Baby, so sorry. Please forgive me. I was tensed about something. To forget about our meet love. But Jungkook is not in mood of apologies. He dragged Taehyung's hands towards their class, but they heard a commotion as they were walking in the hallway. Jin came running and said, Cookie, you will not believe your boyfriend is looking so hot, but pulled brakes on his mouth after seeing Taehyung right beside Jungkook. He looked at Tae like seeing a ghost, then pulled Jungkook's one hand, dragging him, and Jungkook is dragging Taehyung. The trio reached in the sports gym, and there is a crowd around the boxing ring. They made their way inside, and Cookie's mouth dropped, seeing V shirtless, body covered in tattoos with colors, sweat dripping from his face to his nape. While Tay is neutral because we just came and made whole college his fan in such a short time. V is fighting with the most strong boy in the college, and his eyes fall on Jungkook and Tae. He smirked toward Tae and KO. Just one punch with the speed of air and the opponent lose. Taehyung got angry and he pulled Jungkook with him to cafe. He sits on the seat and smiles to Jungkook, who is staring at his soul. So when are you gonna tell me? Jungkook asked. But he was not in the town and not that important. But now you know, he is V, my brother, a boxer competing for nationals this year. Okay, I got it there, but you know what? I did not forgive you about yesterday, Jungkook said and walked away from there after listening to Taehyung's answer. Few days passed, same Jungkook ignoring Taehyung and we both, while they still time spends with Jimin, knowing how much this thing irritated Jungkook, but still, Cook is now on terrace where V was already sitting playing games on his mobile. Seeing the fuming beauty, he smirks. Hey Jungkook, what's up? We dared to ask a very angry Jungkook, who turned and shouted, What's with you? You and him are both same. Hey, what did I do? Why are you blaming me for what Taehyung did, boy? We replied. Jungkook is silent, so we offered him a chocolate. How about you eat it and calm down? I know a nice place. We can go there to lighten up your mood. Jungkook ate the chocolate and then followed V to his bike. It's Cook's first time ride on bike, so he tightly held V. He is flying. Jungkook feels he loved his first time bike riding. Now they are in an area Koo had never came. We pulled the bike's brake, removing his helmet. He and Cook got down from the bike. We led them to a rooftop apartment and led Jungkook inside. You said it will be fun, Jungkook said while removing his shoes and making his way inside the apartment in which we brought him. We chuckles. This boy never hesitates to say what's in my mind, and he can be fooled easily. Well, I'm a good boy, but if what someone takes advantage of him, well, little boy, if you just give me a real chance, then I can show you what's more fun than what I am gonna take you to see. We flirts while moving towards Cook and lifted his hands V puts his hand on Jungkook's shoulder to remove his jacket, while Jungkook got surprised by V's touch. We then walked backwards and said, "Follow me," which Jungkook did while pouting his cute lips because he doesn't like to be called little boy. We opened the door, but before then, he got behind Jungkook and put his one big hand on, and Jungkook got shocked by his sudden action. He can feel V's long finger on his eyes, and he wants them somewhere else right now. He feels in his and his breathing deepens, and then we took him through the door, and when Jungkook opened his eyes, only one word left, his small mouth. Amazing. The balcony is extended like a terrace, and one side is swimming pool and on the other side is his favorite open home theater. The space has a swing also and a whole bar with best drinks. It's giving the vibes Jungkook loves. Let's watch a movie. I think it can make your mood better. V whispers from Jungkook's side. Jungkook just nods in daze. They have settled themselves in a big couch, and to his luck, we asked if they should run Iron Man marathon to Jungkook. OMG, it's totally my type, Cook thought, because Taehyung liked more romantic movies. They both enjoyed the movie and don't even get to know they came so close that Jungkook is now fully leaning his head on V's shoulder. V is tapping his thighs, his arms, while laughing like soulmates. Right now, Taehyung is shopping with Jimin. After Jimin had come here, he spent less time with Jungkook, and now Taehyung had no idea where his boyfriend Jungkook is. Jungkook is having the best time of his entire life. The night has come, and the stars in the sky are so pretty. Jungkook got ready to leave to his house, so we followed him to his taxi and said, "Hey Cook, today I loved the time I have spent with you. Maybe if we can become more, I mean, if any chance you also like me." Jungkook just nods and said, "See you tomorrow, V." When Jungkook entered his house, Taehyung was inside his room looking through his stuff. Seeing him, he hugged Jungkook and said, "Hey, where were you? I have called you." But no reply. Jungkook detached himself from Taehyung and took a step back and said, "Well, if you get some time from Jimin, then maybe you get to know where your boyfriend, that is me, is." They held his hand and said, "Babe, what's going on? You are this moody from past week, and now you are looking so disinterested." "Yup, because I think I need time from you," Cook said and told Taehyung to leave. "Okay, but you have to decide until tomorrow. I will be waiting," Taehyung said and left a kiss on Jungkook's cheeks and left from there while Jungkook sat on bed and his phone pinged. He checked the message from V. "Hey Cook, I will be waiting for your reply tomorrow. Good night, pretty cheeks." Jungkook got headache and pulled his hairs with his hand and cursed at his fate. Next day, Jungkook is feeling like a main character in movie because as soon as he entered, he is in middle, and from one side Taehyung came and holded his hand, and from other side Kim V came and looked at him. He then made his way to the terrace and both boys followed Jungkook. He now sits on a bench and we and they stood in front of him. He took a deep breath, mumbling confidence, confidence to himself and stood up and looked in Taehyung's eyes. Tae, you have been a good boyfriend and I have loved you with my whole heart. But I think with time you forgot me and I become a second option to you. I am sorry, but I have no feelings towards you now, Jungkook said. Taehyung got tear in his eyes hearing this and felt pain in his chest. And he ran from there because he cannot see V again winning. Jungkook looked at V, who smiled at him. V hugged him and said, "Thank you for choosing me. I will never make you regret it. I promise to cherish you and love you, Cook. You made me so happy." Jungkook smiled with tears because he is in happy sad mood. Sad because to hurt Taehyung, happy because he got V now as his boyfriend. The end.